When we landed and came out of the aircraft, what we saw really scared us also. Rather, they were claiming I crossed over. But that is a questionable thing. Sitting here in an air-conditioned office, we just can't imagine what is going on there.
Absolutely true.
You know that famous thing of you sweat in peace and bleed less in war. My example shows it.
A decorated Indian Air Force officer who's flown over 7,000 hours. He's led daring missions in the Himalayas and he continues to inspire the youth even after retirement. The Hitavada People's Mic warmly welcomes AVM Suryakant Chafekar, AVSM Shaurya Chakra awardee. It's an honor to have you with us, sir.
Thank you for calling me.
Sir, you've logged over 7,000 flying hours in different aircrafts across different terrains. You've shown your prowess, but I'm sure there is one flight, one mission that must have tested your mettle as a pilot. So can you take us behind the scenes and let us know about it?
Surely. Just to start, I will tell you one thing. For that matter, any profession, let it be pilot, let it be a doctor, or any other profession, inclusive of legal or any. What your training concentrates on is the normal routine activity, what you do day to day. However, the most important aspect, which I think, and it has been proved through my actions, that when you are in an emergent situation, when there is some emergency, in aircraft, we call it emergency.
Right.
Why so? You can apply this to life also. You know, how you deal with an emergent situation in your life makes you what you are.
Correct.
So in our profession, definitely that matters. Why I started like this is because when we are trained for that one incident which is going to happen in your entire career.
Right.
It may happen, it may not happen.
Right.
But we are so polished in that activity that if you wake me up from a sleep, I'll be able to tell you what is it all about.
Yes. We've seen that in various films also. You know, one alarm
it's literally like that. It's not just picturized, but it is fact of life.
Correct.
Because the profession is such, because you're in air, you're all alone, you don't have much this thing to go about. So you do that. So this emergency, whatever you face in your life, is definitely the turning point of your life. And it can come, it may not at all. There have been pilots in their entire life, they didn't face a single emergency. But I was not so lucky, or I was lucky and I could get over it, I can say. So this was in 2002. 1999 conflict was just over. During that, Kargil airfield was not available. That was the major problem actually. So when I went there from staff college, so I was raring to go in the Himalayas. So I was given a task to reactivate this Kargil airfield. Let me first only tell you that Himalaya, it's very different. It's not like Nagpur, Bombay, Pune. The airstrips are kind of in a bowl. You know, surrounded by very high hills.
Yes.
Second issue is very close to line of actual control. In case of Pakistan, line of control. And in case of China, line of actual control.
Right.
And Kargil has got a peculiarity in which the Pakistanis keep firing on us without aiming on particular thing. So it's a kind of a artillery fire, just keep doing it. So on finals there is a issue. So I did if I remember right, in April 2001, I did the trial landing first. Runway repair was to be undertaken, then I had to go there on ground, tell them how things will be, collected intelligence from the army people that how the operations of Pakistanis are there, things like that. And in August 2001, again I did one landing.
Right.
However, thereafter certain repairs were required, so we couldn't go. So it was Feb 19th. I remember the date well because it's Shivaji's by date birth anniversary. So 19 Feb, I was told that I have to position the aircraft in Delhi and take my boss of Western Air Command to Kargil for inauguration of the airfield.
Okay.
Right. So we went en route, we were going, weather was slightly marginal, you can say. But marginal is a word which we use for operational reasons. Tactically, even if it is impossible, we tend to go through. So there is a typical phenomena in Himalaya region, our viewers will like to know, and it's better they know now, that it's all snowbound on the ground, so it's all white. And if there is a clouding above, then it becomes kind of a bowl of white.
Right, right.
So on the top white, on the bottom white, and you are in between. So what we normally fly, earlier days we used to fly, now instruments have come, is your eyeball contact and horizon. With reference to horizon, flying is done. But in such situation, horizon is not available. So we call it whiteout effect. So whether aircraft is inverted, straight, not only you know by looking at the instruments. So it was you can say 50-50 kind of a thing, but weather was okay. I had only gone there. So we started going somewhere near one Fatula place is there. You have to turn left for the thing. So we remembered that, we continued. But after some time I found Kargil town, a very small township, slightly way to the left, which was not very common. I had only done, so I knew it had to come bang on. So moment I saw this, I turned left and I heard a bang. Now we thought that time that it is a bird hit. You know, typical of aircraft thing, even a small bird with hardly any speed, he is flying because of aircraft kinetics energy.
Correct.
That makes up. So moment that bang came, all the cockpit lights lit up. And we have a Russian lady who speaks out about emergencies. Okay, I think there's some psychology of that ladies can calm you down faster. Maybe, may not be, because emergency calming down is quite an effect.
I think, let me disagree. I don't think ladies can be a calming effect.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe, may not be. But as far as male pilots are concerned, they feel very nice about it.
Right.
Okay, because we are on a monotonous men crew earlier, now not anymore. So it's a good, she warns you about certain things. So here she started, all red lights started flashing, and she started saying, right engine on fire. Now as I told you earlier, emergencies, we have two parts. One is very critical, means your aircraft can crash. Second is which you are manageable. Now here I'll take a stop and tell you added problems of Himalayas. You know, when you have two twin engine aircraft, both engines working, you can maintain certain altitude. We fly at 240, 250 in that area. Right. But if one engine is knocked off, then the aircraft keeps coming down on its own. It is known as drift down altitude, because aircraft is drifting down, because it can't maintain. And below, Himalayas. 23,000, 24,000, pretty high thing.
Yes.
So here, moment that was warning came, what you have to do is, it's a propeller aircraft, so you have to stop that propeller. And we do have fire extinguishers. So we fire them and try and bring the fire under control. So we call it feathering, feathered the propeller right, fired the fire extinguisher engine, and send my flight engineer to check out whether things are okay. When fire has put off or not, because fire is a thing which is can take serious turn. So he came running by and he said, no, it's spreading on wing now. So we have something known as wing fire extinguisher also.
Okay.
So those I fired. So such 3-4 this thing. When second time I sent him, he got the news that his fire actually has gone, but fumes are there. And I started turning left, and as I told you, we had to get down.
Right.
So in these critical situations, rather this is the only incident in the history of Indian Air Force where a twin engine aircraft had been, one engine has been knocked down and the aircraft flew safely 31 minutes and landed.
Wow.
Otherwise it has been sadly because of high hills,
Correct.
So here I abandoned the Kargil landing, inauguration and all was over. So we started heading towards Leh. So I got the aircraft down, started entering valleys. Now we have something known as emergency route. It is dangerous. We normally don't fly because the hills are too close. The trees, you feel when you are flying looking front as if trees are touching the wing. So it's a slightly kind of a scary thing, but here there was no choice. So we flew through valleys, and after 31 minutes I managed to land at Leh. When we landed and came out of the aircraft, what we saw really scared us also. Because there is normally a question, how do you take this?
Correct.
Because what had happened is, there was a hole through and through on my right engine. So immediately we knew it was not bird. So when we checked closely, it was confirmed that it was a missile hit.
Wow.
So missile hit, when, why, whose, how, all then the action started. You know, fratricide also people talk about, and a lot of things. Then army boss was already at Kargil, so a lot of things happened. But it was confirmed it was missile hit and it was Paki missile. Now the other part of handling emergency is one. For me there was another part. My topmost boss of that area was with me.
Yeah.
So,
That is more important.
yeah. And on such missions, you want to have people who been pilots who have been there, flown the aircraft. They know the problems of the aircraft, the area, and things
correct.
like that.
Yes.
And here I am all alone in the right seat because I am an instructor.
Right.
So he chose to sit on the left seat. With being not qualified and things like that, it brings down the, you know, what we call it CRM, cockpit resource management. It's a big thing for transport because if the level of people who are sitting around, knowledge level, is too kind of not being tempered very badly, in which this case it was. Because I am the captain of the aircraft.
Right.
I was a wing commander then. My navigator was just a flight lieutenant, youngster. And flight engineer, as it is a non-commissioned.
No, so just to interrupt you, does this happen very often, or do you always have a co-pilot with you?
Yeah, it never happens. You know, but as in all organizations, boss always feels he is right.
He is the right. Yes.
So,
Truly said.
and in this case, he has not signed for aircraft. He is not captain of the aircraft. I being junior also, I am the captain of the aircraft. And me being instructor, he has used it for, you know, that feel is nice. If you're going for a Kargil airfield, you know, inauguration. Coming out of cockpit, whatever rank you are, makes you feel more nice.
True.
I suppose now, when I look back, that must be. So he was sitting there. So that is all history, nothing much about it. So we knew that this is the problem. So now why this is the incident for me is, I told you the first.
Right.
First time in Himalayas ever it has happened that somebody had this, and here was a missile hit, fire, very close to LAC. Rather they were claiming I crossed over, but that is a questionable thing. And fourthly, as I told you, my boss on the left seat. So I am doing everything on my own and he is trying to tell me that he can help me. So you can know how things could have been.
Right.
But then the way I am, I'm quite a stern guy. And as an instructor, I knew my job well. So I silenced all the thing, took over the control, did the thing and brought back the aircraft. The best piloting, yes, fully agreed. Second important aspect is the aircraft. This Russian aircraft is known as Antonov 32. One of the robust aircraft. And it is tailor-made for Indian conditions.
Okay.
Plus 50 at Rajasthan, minus 48 at Leh, coastal region, the rusting, humid atmosphere.
Right.
You name it, it operates very well. So the machine, the man behind, that is me.
The man behind, yes.
And yes, of course, the Almighty.
Yes, but you were the man that day.
Yes. So that is on the top of my mind every time I speak about my aviation.
Yeah. So you talked about Himalayas here, and how difficult it is. And this was a first for you, and probably the only one that you mentioned, which has happened in the history of the Indian Air Force. But there's also another first that is linked with your name, for which you got the Shaurya Chakra award, the Daulat Beg Oldi landing. So could you let us know about, what exactly, how you went about it? And this is the high altitude operations are unique to Indian, and it's your forte. So we would like you to take us through that.
Surely. And good that we covered Kargil first, so that I could tell you about Himalayas. And from this Kargil, it had come to me that, finally I was captain of the aircraft. So when it is talked about that Kargil something happened, definitely my name was everywhere,
Right.
even though my boss was sitting. So I had this in mind, always back of mind, that I have to do something else which is going to prove that I was not at fault. Okay, there was somebody who is, and rather I did much better to get the aircraft back. In Fauj, we keep talking about one thing, that there is a very thin line between displeasure and award. And I have lived that. According to me, still today, though I got Shaurya Chakra for the Daulat Beg Oldi, which we will talk about, I would like to mention here, I always thought I should have got some gallantry for Kargil rather than, but then when controversies add up, our viewers are all conversant with Google and all that, so they can just Google me for 2002 and the whole history comes out.
Correct.
So that we won't go low far. Daulat Beg Oldi, actually I was there as a flight commander when Kargil happened. So I got back to Nagpur as a choice posting. They helped me out because I wanted to be away from all that. And then I went back to Chandigarh as a CO, commanding officer. So here I will like to mention my service. Indian Air Force has been so just to me that I had an accident which made a lot of news. There were a lot of leadership issues, means a lot. But they trusted me and put me back in the same place where I had this incident as a commanding officer. So then I said, I have to pay back that trust. So Daulat Beg Oldi is a place which is, east of Siachen. It's the highest airfield in the world, 16,700 feet. And many issues, closer to line of actual control, right? Surrounded by very high mountains. Karakoram Pass is just about 20 kilometers flying as a crow flies. And thirdly, the aircraft doesn't play the ball there. Because there is no aircraft in the world which is made to land at 16,700. Let's keep it that way. Why? Because if you land at 16,700, then you can't switch off the engines. If you switch off engines, they don't start because of lack of oxygen.
Right.
Now, when we talk about lack of oxygen, let me tell you, almost 45% of oxygen is less there. So it's not the partial pressure, all gases are, but in that cubic area, 1 cubic area, if you take, the amount of oxygen is less, so the engine doesn't start. So there is no aircraft in the world which can land there. But then why we wanted to do? The question will be always there, then why you were going crazy about it. So it was not being crazy.
The strategic importance of, landing
Yes. That place has been very, very important. Almost 5 cultures meet there. 5 international boundaries meet there. It is known as rooftop of the world. Okay. And 16.7, nobody had attempted. It is not that nobody attempted. There was a lot of talk, whether you should do it, not do it, and things like that. But they decided not to because of the problems which I just told you. So, when I suggested this, in Fauj, everything moves hierarchically. Here it went other way around. I was convinced that this has to be done for strategic importance. The world should know. And China has got a full network of road, railway line, everything in that region. We were doing nothing. Okay, now things are coming out why and things like that. We were not wanting. So we were talking about the importance of the place because Chinese had developed everything, we never. Now governmental issues and all, we Fauji's try and stay away from it. So, but there was an issue. So I had proposed to my boss. Till then the boss has changed. And I will name him, he is no more, but he's the guy. When we talk about leadership, this is the name we should take. Air Marshal Barbara, PK Barbara. Very dynamic person. And what leadership should be.
Okay.
He taught me big way. So I knew he is a man who is kind of a, keen with my way of going and things like that.
Right.
So I proposed him that we should land at DBO. Told him the difficulties, the entire thing. And thereafter, he called me over to command. He brought all the experts. Why I'm telling you these details is because why people were not doing it is very important to know. So there were experts in maintenance, there is technical people, there were soil experts, there were aviation experts, okay, and then me saying yes, it can be done. Okay. So all these three so-called experts said don't do it, and they were right. It is not a bitumen surface, let me tell you. At 16,700 feet with no roads, no railway line, how are you going to make a bitumen?
Right.
So it's a normal ground, compacted little bit. And how it was compacted, I'll tell you the story, that is very interesting. So soil expert had come in. From Pune, there is a establishment, civilian. They deal only in soil. So they said, no, it won't be. So then Air Marshal Barbara being what he is, he said, okay, all three have said no. Now one man says it can be done. And I am convinced that it should be done because of the strategic importance.
Right.
So he told me, I told him, yes, it is a kind of a thing. You know, we have what is known as something known as graphs, operational graphs for each aircraft. So what is temperature, pressure? Based on that, we decide an airfield elevation, whether we can operate or not. So all my action was out of that graph because we don't know which way to go.
Correct.
So that was one risk. Number two, if aircraft went unserviceable engine-wise, we would have to leave it there. So we had to be retrieved back. So a lot of complications were looked into. But I was told, you go ahead and get that airfield compacted and check it out, whether it's okay for you. So I used to go there and check the compacting and things like that. And then most of the airfield was compacted. Now we had to compact it by a road roller, simple road roller. There was nothing else there. How to do it? How to take a road roller? There was an issue.
Correct.
So the huge Mi-26 helicopter dropped the center portion of the road roller there. And hats off to our army men. At 16,700 feet, these Johnnies of ours, brave soldiers, we can say, fitted some wooden thing to it. Okay, and then ballis on that, and on their shoulder they used to pull this.
Wow.
And it was nothing less distance. It is more than 3.5 kilometers runway. So you can imagine the distance they had to.
Exciting.
And they, and the job done. I may have got Shaurya Chakra for this, but I am indebted to these guys because I have experienced what it is like there. When I used to go for checking the ground, if I walked 5 steps faster, because I was not acclimatized, I used to go from Chandigarh. I used to feel nauseating and kind of a closer to unconsciousness. That Johnny used to stand next to me with oxygen and quickly used to put. So those conditions, these guys were doing road roller job and on their shoulders.
It's hats off to all these people.
Hats off to them, and why they were wanting. So that is also equally important. Now the people serve there for just 2 months because a lot of medical conditions come in, water in the lungs, other frostbite, many things. So the rotation is by foot. 15 days they used to walk.
Wow, so it's not an easy life at all.
From DBO to Leh.
Yes.
And average height on which they used to walk is 16,500. So all snow covered, lack of oxygen. So after 2 months, almost few we used to say we will stay some more, but let's not go through this torture. You can imagine the condition. Sitting here in an air-conditioned office, we just can't imagine what is going on there.
Absolutely true.
So that was one. Number two, if somebody had a medical emergency, evacuation is again same, 15 days. That guy would survive. Number three, we used to, in Himalayan region, some places we airdrop. Because there were just two airfields before I started all these airfields. Leh and Thois. So from there we take it by landing, and further up helicopters, transport aircraft, take the load, open the ramp and drop it. Parachute opens and it lands.
Right.
So at DBO we used to do this. So that was their survival. So if my aircraft had unserviceability over DBO, it was surrounded by very high hills. So in emergency, my pilot could put down the aircraft and we can retrieve them, was another idea. So that was the background on which, and strategic importance as it is we talked. So on 31st May 2008, we decided of landing, chose a early time, May. You can imagine here in Nagpur, it is 48 degrees. Okay, there it was sub-zero.
Yes.
So, Air Marshal Barbara again, now he knew about Kargil. So he said, I won't be sitting in cockpit, but I will come with you as a passenger. Leadership. When we talk of leadership, these are the small aspects, but they do matter. So he was there with me. We went, landed, and kind of history was created. It was known as trial landing, but knowing Barbara, I knew he will make me continue thereafter. So we continued, almost 50 plus sorties I did. Then I made the C-130 land there. And now it has a kind of a history of it. So I did this in 2008, 2009 we operated. Then when I went back as a boss to Air Headquarters, I only sent the C-130 to do a trial landing there. Because you know that famous thing of you sweat in peace and bleed less in war. My example shows it. I did in 2008 and it proved to be strategically important, which government was not convinced in 2020 when Galwan happened. When Chinese put their soldiers out there, we had to pump in. And if this airfield was not available, they would have gone to Leh. 15 days they would have walked, and you know what conditions. But we overnight through C-130 pumped in the people, and rest all is, they say, history.
You laid the foundation and you played a huge role in this.
Yeah, definitely. But there where I will like to tell youngsters that, you know, success is not instant.
It is
like
never that,
it's not instant coffee or instant noodles.
Correct.
You do your job and recognition will follow. So that is very important aspect for youngsters to learn about. That I did something in 2008. Post-retirement, my work was recognized. Almost
so that
after
is,
12 years.
That's hugely satisfying, you know.
Definitely. But you know, when you do a job, you always want that pat on the back.
Right.
So you keep feeling why it is not coming. So for that, I am telling your viewers that is not instant. Don't expect it to be so.
No, but then, you know, I think with all your podcasts and your writings and how, you know, you've been invited to so many functions, you were keeping busy. So I think that is a pat on your back. You know, appreciation now is coming to you from all sides for all the hard work.
Fully in agreement, and plus there is a kind of a satisfaction that you are able to give back to the society.
Correct.
You know, what you do, you know, there is always a blame game kind of a thing. We are democratic, we are really loose democracy. We let everybody speak everything. So there is a tendency to say that defense forces is kind of a burden on society.
Correct.
Which may be a fact, but that is a necessity.
It is a necessity.
So we, as a soldier, always think that whatever we did there, it's over. Let's not be just happy with what has happened.
Right.
Do something else. So this is my way of giving back to the society, telling them, and there is a huge learning lesson for youngsters, I always feel. That is why I got into this.
Great. So you talked of leadership, and that has again, been clearly a cornerstone in your career. Also, you've led bases in major bases in Chandigarh, important ones, Agra. So, what is it that makes a leader in uniform different from the other leaders, and what is it? What are the qualities that you imbibe when you are leading a group of men? Is it fearless? Is it empathy? Is it consistency, compassion? What all do you have to bring into it?
I will place empathy at the top.
Okay.
Let me assure you, especially the people like Chandigarh is a base which is a aerial bridge to north.
Huh.
That gets everything. Every day is ration, their ammunition, their clothes, entire thing, they are dependent on Chandigarh Airways. So if you don't have empathy as a maybe flight commander there, as a CO there, or a air officer commanding, things won't work. To tell you a small little thing, whenever we get a SOS for somebody sick, not well, the weather can clamp down in Himalayas. 8 days it doesn't open.
Yes.
But casualty evacuation is one time that we send our best of the pilots and try and make it, because we know there are lives dependent on that.
Correct.
And I have done 2-3 missions like this, and I could save almost 20 Jawans. So that satisfaction is beyond everything. Saving somebody's life. So it's a kind of a bridge. Okay. So empathy is topmost. Empathy for the people who are there, because you have seen the situation. Sitting here, you can't imagine, but we keep seeing it. Secondly, their actually morale is dependent on our action. I'll give you an example. If the weather clamps down for 8 days, okay, it clamps down means you can't enter because hills. It's a dicey flying there.
Correct.
So we can't go for 2 days, 3 days. Now the man on ground, for him psychologically is listening to the aircraft's noise.
Right.
His life is dependent on that.
Correct.
So if he doesn't listen to that, he is on tenterhooks. And now he starts thinking, negativity sets in. The officers there and they pep them up, but talk is not. So what we do is we take on 1 odd sortie. We know that it won't go through. We can't drop because we can't descend. But we just go through. The very sound of the engine that somebody is above me makes them again joy. Puts that josh additional in them.
And the hope.
That somebody is there for me. So empathy, really it works. But then only empathy doesn't help. We are not on suicidal missions.
So,
empathy, definitely.
Yeah, just to interrupt you here. So all this also comes into play when when you've carried all these humanitarian missions, like the one in Yemen, the evacuations, or wherever in the country itself, the flood victims in Uttarakhand.
Though I have kind of a slightly different opinion when we are doing within the country.
Okay.
But outside, when required, yes, definitely, empathy plays. But my take on this is this, that for local flood reliefs or earthquake or this, we do have systems. The state government have, the central government has, NDRF is there.
Right.
But we tend to rely too much on defense because everything is smooth thereafter.
Right.
We don't want to put ourselves into this thing. So that tendency needs to be, but yes, empathy plays a big role in that also. But only empathy doesn't help. Fearlessness.
I do agree. Defense lays down a very smooth path.
Exactly.
Path for so many of us. I mean, who have relatives and all. Kahin pe bhi jana hai, army wale ko pakad.
So it's an easy way out. But that is dangerous because what my take on this is, a Fauji, whether Army, Navy, Air Force, is meant for a job, which is kill to save. Okay, so if you make them mix around too much with civilians, that kind of a sharpness definitely goes down.
Yes.
So they're mingling too much. I am not saying conservative you have to be. Yes, they will definitely with now social media, almost everything is known, understood.
Correct.
But still, to keep their weapons sharp, they need that additional thing, which when you do these jobs, little bit goes down. But then I am for it. When nobody can do it, you call them.
Right.
And we are sure that they will do it. It has been proven. So,
Time and again.
Yeah. So, but fearlessness equally is important, as we were talking about, because unless you have that, and that fearlessness comes with your training and empathy. So it connects.
Yes.
And connects very well. But here, a word of caution to the youngsters today. Adventure, or courage. Courage, when they have a definition in their mind, it is slightly lopsided.
Correct.
I always keep telling, courage is not recklessness.
Yes.
Courage is not recklessness. It is a planned activity in which what likely things are going to go wrong are known and a plan B is ready.
Yes.
Then it is courage.
So very well said.
Yeah. So we have, today's youngsters, we have this tendency that to show courage, recklessness comes in, which is not a correct thing. Okay.
And reckless is not something which should be any part of the armed forces where lives are at stake, where the country's freedom is at stake.
Of course.
So
there is no number two in a war.
Correct.
You have to be winner. There is no number two. So your recklessness can take you to that situation.
Yes.
So it's very, very important for today's youngsters to understand the meaning of courage.
Right.
Okay. It is not foolhardiness. It is not recklessness. It is a calculated risk taken for a reason. Okay. Whenever I see buggy jumping and people, yes, it's okay. But if they are clear about what are the things which can go wrong, if the emergencies are known. So fearlessness is definitely part of it. And the most important part of leadership in Fauj, which I think is applicable and I experimented it well, is take the people along. All the while we have been talking, I've been saying I. But for me, that I includes all the people below.
Absolutely.
Like as in DBO.
Yes.
I was just the executor.
Right.
Every pilot below me or a navigator below me or an engineer below me was working tirelessly. Okay.
Absolutely.
And I was not getting into, all plans were made ready by them. I just executed them. So the team is so important, and if a leader doesn't understand that, then that is the first biggest hurdle in Fauj.
Yes. So again, well said, sir, because it's not just the forces, where this is important. I think this is important in daily life, in all organizations. It is teamwork which, it takes the organization forward. I mean, if it wasn't for these people, I don't think I would be sitting here today.
And it takes a big heart to say so.
Yes, correct.
And in Fauj, we have that tendency. Whenever I do something, like I'll give you an example of this only. I landed at 3F, like you said, DBO. Thereafter, I landed at Fukche, and then at Neoma. All high altitude airfields. After doing DBO, no way I was interested in anything more risky. Okay, because here is a man who had a problem in Kargil.
Right.
Okay, took on a task which was considered impossible.
Right.
Okay, you can think of my wife. Okay, I always keep telling people, Fauji's wife is as important and as necessary, she being brave, as the man who does it. Because I am seen in front of camera, she is behind. Here is a lady who knew that her husband was almost knocking the door, at Kargil.
Yes.
Now he takes on something which is risky, and she reads newspapers, she is knowledgeable, she knows. There are colleagues telling him, look at your husband, what is he doing? Why is he going there? Because it was
did it ever happen with you?
It did.
Where she did say, Suryakant, let's not do it.
Never. That is why I give her, if once she had said, all the things would have stopped.
Okay.
Here she was, my mother-in-law was there. By the way, getting a little personal, but for the ladies who are listening, I want to tell this. My mother-in-law had a lot of problem areas. So she decided not to tell her. And Kargil she knew well because it was in newspapers all over. I was discussed and leadership was discussed big way. So she knew what I am into. So she decided as a lady not to tell her own mother that I'm going somewhere else.
Right.
And when we landed back, we had a nice kind of a get together of inclusive of ladies because we always believe they need to be recognized and told that because you are there, we have done it. So all ladies and all during working hours when we landed from DBO, they were there. So that is the time my mother-in-law first time knew because others were talking that how. So definitely, leadership is teamwork. Whether you like it or not, it is fact of life.
True.
So when I got my Shaurya Chakra, every landing which I mentioned 3, all my crew members have got some commendation. And that is your job.
Yes.
You know, they may not have, there are always problems about awards. They may not have that much number available, there are restrictions, things like that. But then if I am leading, I have to make sure that everybody. And after DBO, as I was telling you, I wanted to stop. It was my youngsters, young, bubbling flying officers, flight lieutenants and squadron leaders who kept pushing me. He said, sir, we have done DBO, let's do something more. I said, I can't see anything. So we used to take a map and they said, sir, here it is. This airfield also has been deactive for the last 55 years. So DBO when we didn't ask the government. It was army. And I should mention General Upadhyay here. He was the army commander there. He took on the responsibility to make the airfield serviceable. Air Marshal Barbora, who allowed me, without his approval, I would have gone nowhere. So these two people, without telling government, taking such a risk, if suppose the aircraft was insufficient, there would have been a hue and cry.
Correct.
You being from media, you know when something negative comes out, it blows more because sensation is loved by people. And if you get sensation, why not? So not getting that, making sure that aircraft doesn't go unserviceable. My technical team really worked hard. There were 25 additional checks done on engines, undercarriage. Because when you land there, a lot of dust raises.
Right.
And small little stones which hit the propeller. So all those precautions they had taken. So that is why strategically, though it was equally important, as a defense forces act to show China that we are up to it, it was a huge step. And I'll tell you the incident. I was telling you I landed first day, then as it is, Barohullah said, let's continue Chafekar. Those Johnny's poor. I said, okay, sir. He said, all yours. How much load? From this airfield, you can't lift too much. That is why helicopters are useless.
Right.
So I slowly got there. The first time when I landed, I announced there, okay, I will take 20 passengers. Believe me, in 20 seconds, 20 guys were in. Okay. Such was the enthusiasm. So I took them in 20 minutes, I was there. Twice, when they got down, I looked back, none of them had luggage. All were going on leave, mind you. So I called one of them. I asked, kaise karoge luggage? Because they were wearing that snow suit, white, full and heavy thing. Kaise jaoge? They said, sir, 20 minutes में आप ले आए. छुट्टी तो घर में है, कैसे भी बैठाएंगे, बट आना जरूरी था, तो सामान तो हमारे पास था नहीं, आपने डिक्लेयर किया 20, हम चढ़ गए. So now you realize how much important it is for them than to us.
Correct.
It is a kind of a thing which, so leadership comes in all the aspects of this thing. And the first and foremost, I always believe in leadership is take the team along and keep telling them that yes, it is you because of whom the things are happening and which are fact.
Yes, it is a fact.
One alone person cannot do this because they knew it is very risky. To tell you how much it is risky, when I first decided to land at DBO, I announced it in front of the CNC. He came on an annual visit in Feb 2008. So I told him routine, we keep telling them we do the air maintenance, this much load drop that. Then I told him, sir, I have one request, I have got something to tell you. He said, yeah. So I told him about DBO. So there was a stunned silence. And only this man, a real leader, he said, very good. I'm so happy that somebody from the operations is trying to think strategically and saying that this should be done as a military ops. Risk is there, but military ops, that is for. So thereafter, when he left, I called my entire squadron. It comprises of a lot of people, you know, like typical organization. Some are not that fearless. Some are more bothered about their careers. Some are got something else. Some are show too much of bravado. Kind of a mix, and all pilots. So I told them, this is what I have decided. So there was pin drop silence. They were shocked. He just had that Kargil thing. In 8 years, 6 years, he's thinking of this. Hope as a squadron it doesn't bring us down. And which is right. So I told them only one thing. And I still remember that, my dialogue of that. I said if the mission goes wrong, it was done, led, planned, executed by Group Captain Chafekar.
Correct.
But if it is a success, it is our squadron and we people who have done it.
Right.
You know, almost they instantaneously clapped. And then one by one they started saying, sir, yes, we will do. Risk hai, but we will do. So after this happened, they are the one who pushed me for Fukche and Neoma. And Fukche and Neoma have got now a lot of strategic importance. Neoma, for that matter, I will tell you, now it is going to become a fighter airfield.
Okay.
It is at 13,500. Okay. And Fukche, we took permission from government and did it. Though, you know, democracy. 3 months it took me to get the permission going.
Bureaucratic.
But then they cleared me. And now, why I keep saying first, I landed, proved that anytime in emergency this can be used. That is also kacha again. Thereafter, nobody has gone there.
Okay.
But me and Marshal Barbara and all, our thinking was at least prove it. That tomorrow, if there is a, like in 2020, we require DB requirement, people can go in. But Neoma has a strategic importance. I'll tell you, this from China side, Sindh River is there. Okay. Indus River, they have to cross and enter a valley to go to Leh. Why I'm talking about Leh? Because Leh is the most important place there.
Correct.
Strategic, tactical, everything. If China wants to do some stunts in Ladakh, it has to be Leh. So this valley which leads to Leh, we wanted one more airfield so that we can stop them much earlier from the border. So I selected a river bed which is just 20 kilometers from this river. And Neoma, we created an airfield there. That time thinking that later maybe somebody will think and make it a base.
Correct.
And with the present government, they really acted on it. 2009 is my landing there. Now this is 2025. The airfield is getting means ready.
Right.
So it can take so many years also.
So you know what, you etched your name in the Indian Air Force annals,
you know, that is another thing of it. When you do it, you are not at all thinking of this.
No, that
But
way when
again,
you're doing
yes,
it, but then when you
look back now, definitely.
you say yes.
Because
I've
that
done
was a neglected area. Let me put it very clearly straight. Because when I was doing DB also, people were not very happy about it. You know, because once you create something, you have to protect it. Who does it? Army. Because they are foot soldiers. So their responsibilities increased there. But then realization came and things started happening.
You have hung up your uniform, but in reality you haven't. You're still associated with it, and you know, you're spreading all the knowledge that you have gained through your years of experience and dedication and commitment to the forces, and you are now mentoring students free of cost. So what led you to this?
As I said, you know, when you go through a life, and in my case, I was almost there or not there, knocked the door and came back. Then whenever you go into these life-threatening situations, there comes a time you feel that you are back and safe for a purpose. And let me tell you, from my bottom of my heart, even my family used to feel that I had this thing all the while in me. That is the first reason I penned down whatever happened to me. so that today's youngsters know it, what it is like, why these things are important, things like that. So that calmed me down. But second thought was that whatever you have learned, Henry Todd has Die Empty, a book. I don't know whether you have read it or not. I'm damn influenced by that book. He talks about only one thing. He says, let it be any person in this world, a normal teacher, a pilot, a professional, anybody. He says he accumulates so much of knowledge and wisdom throughout his life that if he doesn't pass on to it to somebody and takes it to the grave, that is wasted.
So true.
And I had a lot, and in my lifetime, I had a plus point. People love sensation. And my life has been only sensation. So I don't have to make stories. Others do have to make stories or talk about somebody or give somebody's example. In this case, it was just me talking about what happened to me and things were. So I felt that his Die Empty has to be applied to me for 100% surely. And that is why my aim was to write a book. No commercial interest, zero almost. And I wrote. There were issues in that also. Whenever Faujis write, and very few write, why? Because that secrecy clause.
Yes.
I had an advantage. My entire secret was out because of the help of media.
Right.
Okay. 2002 incident, entire is available. DBO I did, it was all over in the newspaper. Any activity I did. So I decided that people should know the behind the curtain thing also. Right. And youngsters need to learn from it. And the major thing I wanted them to know why I started this job is, I keep telling them failure is not fatal. Success is not final.
Yes.
It's the courage to continue that is. And it is not just a quote, it is the understanding of this.
Yes.
Because my life, anybody's life, failures are much, much more than the success stories.
Correct.
Okay, but the failures, what they teach you, only lead to you to that success.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say, and what better way to give your own example, who has been they keep saying, you should read about very big leaders, but I have a problem in this. Because what happens is that youngster feels he was actually really great. How I am going to reach it? So he gives me halfway. But a normal person like me who has been born and brought up in Nagpur, okay, studied normally, did everything normal, joined a thing because he liked it and could reach this. So I keep telling them, 40 years before, wherever I go for college lecture or this thing in my city, I keep telling them, 45, 50 years before, I was sitting that side.
Yes.
And somebody else was speaking from here, though I said we had very less chances, very less people used to speak then. So I said, now you can relate with me that if I could do it, I am a normal, mediocre intelligence chap, so you can do it.
Right. But I also believe that best examples come from one's own life.
Exactly.
You've lived it, and that is exactly what you're doing.
And the relating.
Yes.
The relating part is very important because school kids and college boys and girls, they can't relate to too high a figure. And half of them don't know what was Nehru or what was Gandhi but here they see a person who has been amongst them and he's telling them, yes, I am amongst you only. So they can relate. So that failure thing little bit makes them help how to do it. So that was my main aim to do. When I started, the response was lukewarm. As you know, these days educational institutes is only academics and not their fault because parents are very clear, 94% and above is the only survival rate. But then over a period of time, there are schools, there are people who have got some good ideas and they know that practical thing also is important. Because I believe, and I keep telling, and I deal only with youngsters, so I can tell with authority on this, that only academics doesn't help. Okay, there are many examples to it, that what X factor they call it these days is personality. And we Indians do definitely have an advantage that our culture culture in the house is so good that the first part of a personality is looked after very well by parents,
And
your
the-
siblings,
yes.
teachers, and your colleagues.
True, true.
But when you are thrown from the, this is a kind of a sheltered activity when you are in school. But when you are thrown into the open environment in colleges or when you are doing job, your personality really now has to develop that way.
Correct.
Because there are negatives coming in, positives coming in, choosing you don't know how much. So it's very, very important for youngsters to know, and in this social media clutter, as it is so much of information bombardment is on, they have to know exactly what is for them. So I thought this is the best way to clarify, and you'll be surprised to know it's not kind of a lot of corporates are getting interested in this.
Okay.
Like I've done for many, and I asked them this question. I said, from a Fauji, why do you want to listen about leadership? Because I talk on leadership. So in that they say exactly same. Okay, that the negatives or the thing which come from the environment need to be removed time and again. It needs to be tweaked a little bit. So and leadership, there are thousands of books available. But from a book, giving some knowledge is not my forte, and I don't like it, let me tell you, because I do read, but I don't want to.
No, but you've lived enough of your life.
So I
to give-
selected my life as a kind of a this thing.
Example,
And there
yes.
are examples available. Failure was my first step. I keep telling them, as a group captain, that is almost 22 years of service, the first award I got in my life. People keep getting CNCs, CS, commendations and all right from flying officer days. Here I was doing the same job every time, but maybe because of my bluntness, the way conduct. My first award was as a group captain. But then that was a gallantry.
Yes.
So you don't have to keep looking at what you're going to get.
Correct.
If you keep doing things, which is easier said than done, especially when today's parents are looking. Moment they want something is done, they want results out of it. So that is why I thought, let me speak to youngsters on these aspects. So leadership, personality development, and other varied subjects I do. And SSB, free of cost, I selected because my father was in it, big way. There are almost 1,200 Nagpurians and in around who have been selected through him. And he was not a regular army chap, he was territorial army. And he did almost for 26 years. I never can ever imagine fitting in his shoes, but I said, let me attempt. So I'm doing more. Now there are a lot of institutions, all about it. But the payments are so high. At times, because of financial condition, he may not get a chance. So I pick up such boys and girls, basically from Wardha, Yavatmal, within Nagpur also, and train them. And they have potential. Vidarbha has got good potential. Somehow we are not able to tap it, is this thing. So I said, whatever within my frame, I can't do too much, but whatever I can manage, that I do.
No, so then, which brings me to the next question. We all love men in uniform. I mean, I've seen Shah Rukh Khan walking in the uniform in Veer Zara, and we all went, wow. It's similar with you people, when you see any soldier in his uniform walking past, walking towards you, the one word that comes out of your mouth after wow is its sheer respect for the uniform, for the person. But then why is it that, Indian families are still reluctant to send their children into, we still say ki baju wale ka chala jao, un tum
Shivaji
bhej do,
to be born next door, not
hum nahi bhejenge. So why, and how do we go about changing that mindset? Because with forces, it's not just, it's not money wise, okay, a little lucrative with all these pay commissions that have come in. But there is such a lot of dignity, such a lot of respect associated with it, and this is also something that we look for when we go for any profession.
Yeah, true. First blame goes to Indian cinema. Okay, I'm very clear, and I'm talking to a cinema critic.
And here I was giving you an example of Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah. Because, negativity which has been spread, falsehood I call it, is that one joining service means he is dead. He is not going to come alive, he is not going to retire, which is a huge falsehood. All parents who contact me for, whether their ward should join or not,
Right.
I keep telling them, the accident in India is higher than the rate which is in defense forces. So how are you thinking? So this, and we are not doing it to put down defense forces. We are doing this act to glorify them. But death is not the only thing through which glorification can be achieved. Okay, that is another reason I started speaking, telling them I have gone through almost close to that, but I am out.
Right.
So it is not that you join means you are over. Okay, and the percentage. So cinema is the first culprit. Second, now that lucrative easy way out is the first thing any human being looks for. Let's face the fact of life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in IT, if I get this much and in one place, then I
Why
would like
should I
to.
go? Yes.
And the third part is, ours is a volunteer service. Let's face the fact. And I am very happy that it is that way, because I will not like to have a reluctant guy going into this service, because it's not a job. It is just not a job. It is a kind of a devotion. Let me not glorify too much. Yes, I am also looking forward to my pay. No way that I am not looking forward for pay. But then my basic aim for joining is, yes, that factor which matters. And it is no less in normal citizen also. I always keep saying patriotism is not my it is not meant only for defense forces. My civilians who used to work in my squadron also used to be equally patriotic. When I landed at DBO, my Safai wala was so ecstatic. How much he must have been understanding, but he was very happy about it. So that is not the issue. But then going into defense forces, okay, earlier we could carry on because father, son, further it carried on. Now it has become like a job. So those who are really for it, and the third and the last thing, which again is right, but is a hurdle, is the selection process. It is very, very kind of a, difficult thing to say why somebody is rejected. Because there is a reason. We go in for some basic qualities. They are must. I'll name a few, then you'll realize why. Honesty, integrity, leadership, okay, decision-making capability, okay. These are basic things which are must. Not that we are asking them totally, fully matured one. No. But basic if you have, I will get you the training and build it up further.
Yes.
So that is the main difference between a defense personnel and a civilian. But then there is a lot of things behind it. Especially for flying, there are too many hurdles. So people tend to go to easier way out.
Right.
Okay. In thousands of IT companies, thousands of technical this thing. But one thing is there, I hardly see people who didn't attempt to join defense. Now I keep meeting.
Right.
I have met elders also, so many. Okay. To give an example, my brother-in-law was in Merchant Navy, but he had attempted for Air Force. Okay. My relatives within at least 90% have done that. But because of this basic thing, there is it is difficult. Like people keep talking about IS and IRS and IFS. I keep giving the example. Just take out the statistics. You will be shocked that the statistics is really lopsided. Means lakhs and lakhs appear and 231 get selected to NDA.
Right.
That is the ratio.
So, you were talking about how important it is to have that commitment and the dedication, and of course, the feeling of patriotism when you are applying for and armed forces. So what are your views on Agniveer?
Yeah. Agniveer, according to me, is excellent for the person who is joining. Hope you get my point.
Yeah.
Because for him it is win-win. Why people want to join early? Let's see. Finance, they are not able to continue their studies.
Right.
Their father cannot support them. They want to support them. So they do it. However, few people financially not able to manage studies, why their potential should go waste? So Agniveer gives them a chance now. You know, it is a 4-year. At the age of 18 he joins. 21, 22 is out. He has got 4-5 lakhs in hand. If he has potential, definitely he will go and study now. I'm sure. Okay. Plus, another 25-30% are being inducted. So it is not totally zero. Thirdly, even he has little bit business acumen, he can open up his thing. So if you ask me about Agniveer as a process, the person who is joining, totally win-win. But the organization, the defense forces definitely had problems earlier. You know, whom we used to train for 1.5 years. Here we are training him for 6 months. And they are dealing, especially for Air Force, it was very critical. They are dealing with machines, which I blindly have a faith on them. I am not going to recheck. He has gone inside the engine and checked that all is well. So I take it as a gospel truth, get into the thing and get off. So lack of training should not create problem in this, was the thinking pattern first. But whatever has gone through, whatever I read, I meet them also at times, it is not that bad. But few elements who are not that good may create, but then weeding out process is there.
Yes,
and for them win-win situation is there.
And then teething troubles happen in
anywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
And let's face the fact of life that defense forces is a burden on income tax. Okay. But a necessity burden.
Yes.
So you have to go through it. Security, if you want, you have to take this burden, and it is not only for India, it's world over.
Right.
So finding a solution within that, I think Agniveer was not a bad idea. We are tweaking it more and more, and it will stabilize.
Great. So on this note, sir, we come to the conclusion, and but then we are not going to let you leave like that before you answer the rapid fire questions.
Okay. Rapid fire, please.
The rapid fire now. So there's one mission that changed your perspective on life forever.
I told you Kargil, because it is knocking on the death door, and your vision about life changes. The illusions move out. That is more important than your vision changes.
If not a fighter pilot, what would you have been?
I never thought anything other than that. Believe me, definitely not in some bank or this. Okay, and so I was very confident.
Always keen on joining the forces.
Keen on joining forces. My father wanted me to be an army man. My mother wanted to be me as an Air Force pilot, because the glamour aviation attracts. And when I appeared, wrote naval aviation as first choice, Air Force second, and Army third. Again, this is to youngsters. When you tend to join, you hardly know anything.
Right.
But when I got selected for all three, then I went depth into it, and I thought if I have to go to be an aviator, might well as be in a aviator in an organization where aviation is topmost. And Air Force, it is like that.
Okay. Correct. So describe the Air Force in one word.
Most just service, knows how to deal with their people with empathy.
Great. The bravest thing a young officer can do today is?
Think out of box. Don't follow the beaten path.
Yes.
Definitely. And for that, you will require courage, fearlessness, and building up of capability, which is only possible through hard work. There is no shortcut to it.
One lesson from the skies that applies perfectly to life on the ground.
You may see things from far off very small, you may not understand the importance of it. Same is life. Very small, small little things your parents tell you, you experience. It may be very small for you, but the meaning behind that can be very, very important. So learn to live the small things and you will get bigger ones.
One last question. Between flying an AN-32 over the Himalayas and recording an episode for your YouTube channel, you have a YouTube channel, the Shanknath. So which makes you more nervous or made you more nervous when you were flying the aircraft?
Flying never made me nervous. I was kind of a fearless chap all through. And luckily, when I got in front of camera also, my fearlessness helped me a lot. So
it's a win-win situation.
yeah, I just can't see, because when I see my first podcast, I find it same or maybe better or almost at par with what I do now. Because I told you the background. I am not doing this for, fame, because that came automatically to me.
Correct.
I am doing this to send out a message to people, and I go, if there are 30 people, I go and give a lecture. If there are 3,000 people, I go and give a lecture, because my aim is 1 to 2% of that lot. If they understand me and agree to me, then I have won or I've got what I want.
Yes. So thank you, AVM Suryakant Chafekar, for being with us and for sharing all these truly insightful and inspiring stories. I'm sure our viewers are going to agree with this, and I'm sure we're going to get a huge response for this. You are one person who has taught us once again that courage and service they can never retire. So it's been a true privilege having with you us today, and thank you, sir. Dil se.
Thanks.